This was unbelievable courtroom behavior. In 2019, after a judge sentenced another judge to jail time, taking the defendant into custody wasn't so easy. A court officer had to drag her out. Former Cincinnati Judge Tracy Hunter was convicted of misusing her position as a judge to help her brother. Her lawyer claimed her actions didn't break the law.
Judge Hunter has gotten up each morning not knowing whether that was going to be the day that she was going to have to go to jail.
After her appeals were exhausted, she faced the music in court.
What she wants is to control the facts. What she wants to do is write the law, and what she wants to do is play by her own set of rules right up until today.
In 2018, after two prisoners made a run for it, the judge yanked off his robe and chased after them. As they bolted, one suspect lost a shoe. As they headed for the stairs, the judge closed in. Eventually, one suspect found the exit and got away. The judge lunged at the other one and grabs him by the collar.
Kind of gave him a little shove as I was coming off the stairs to slow him down, and then just grabbed him and held him.
Put your hands behind your head. Tase right now.
From 2016, when a defendant willingly refused to go into custody, a judge shed his robe and helped the court officer restrain him. A few minutes earlier, things were heated in the Michigan courtroom between the judge and the suspect, who was reportedly in court for violating a personal protection order.
I want her to come and leave her alone. You know what? I told you to leave her alone. And apparently that didn't get through loud and clear. So today, you're going to jail for 3 days.
When the suspect tried talking back to the judge, he dug his hole deeper.
93 days in the county jail. You want to go for a year?
Then he had some words for the judge.
I'm going to leave you alone. Tell me right now.
But the judge wasn't having it.
Put your hands behind your head. Tase right now.
In 2018, a handcuffed defendant fled a Utah courtroom and nosedived over a railing. Security guards rushed to catch him and were unsuccessful. The suspect broke his pelvis and leg and fractured his skull. In 2006, an Uber driver accused of slaying 6 people was dragged out of a Michigan court after lunging at a witness.
I seen him coming.
In the middle of her testimony, the defendant began interrupting her and rambling incoherently. The judge ordered him to stop.
Be quiet in today's proceedings, okay? If you have anything to say, whisper to your attorney.
Then the suspect lunged out of his seat. He was restrained by deputies and dragged out of the courtroom. The defendant wasn't allowed to return to court and was forced to follow the proceedings on a closed-circuit link with 2 deputies restraining him. The suspects pleaded guilty to all of the charges and was sentenced to life in prison. In 2019, 2 brothers attacked their mother's killer in court. Dale Williams pleaded guilty to aggravated murder in the death of his ex-girlfriend. Her family was present at the sentencing in the Youngstown, Ohio courthouse when her 2 sons tried to get some justice of their own. One of the men lunged at Williams. Court officers tried to stop the attack, but the man was able to grab Williams by the feet and drag him. The victim's other son tried to help his brother, but was tased by an officer. Williams was taken out of the courtroom and his sentence was postponed.
Killed my mother, man. That was my mama.
During the sentencing for a 3-year-old girl's death, a brawl broke out in a Detroit courtroom when the girl's father attacked the man responsible for killing her. The courtroom was cleared and rescheduled. In 2018, a mother lunged at the man accused of murdering her 2 sons. Marie Wren said she couldn't control herself when she saw the suspect accused of stabbing her teenage sons and burning their bodies.
Ain't nobody gonna sit in court and hold their composure and have a demon turn around and laugh about them killing your kids.
The grieving mother was determined to get justice for her son.
Every Sunday you go to church and you pray and you try to forgive. The anger still builds up in your soul.
After the incident, the judge issued the mother a warning. In 2023, the suspect was found guilty on all 6 charges against him. In 2022, a grieving father tried to confront the men accused of killing his daughter, but was stopped by Tennessee court officers. The suspects were charged with first-degree murder in connection with the death of Caitlin Kaufman. Just seconds after the defendants were brought into the courtroom, the victim's father had to be physically escorted out of the courtroom, while the victim's mother sat in one of the benches and cried. One suspect was found guilty of second-degree murder. The co-defendant was acquitted. In 2023, a fight broke out in the middle of a courtroom hearing. It started after the mother of a murdered 16-year-old finished reading a prepared statement. She got up from the stand and walked towards the defendant. A bailiff blocked her path. It happened right after De Leon pleaded guilty to killing his ex-girlfriend, Diamond. Diamond was shot 22 times while walking her dog the year before.
And what he did it was horrible. Seeing my daughter there and looking at him that he did that and he's laughing in my face. It was very wrong and I'm so sorry for that.
In 2023, an accused killer attacked her own attorney in court. Taylor Shabiznis was accused of killing and mutilating her boyfriend the year before in Wisconsin. The 25-year-old was in court for a hearing when she attacked her defense attorney as he was sitting next to her. A court officer pulled her to the ground, but the defendant made it difficult for him to restrain her.
Leave the courtroom.
Afterwards, Shabiznis underwent evaluations by mental health professionals to determine if she was competent to stand trial. She was later sentenced and assigned a new attorney. In 2018, this judge stormed out of his courtroom and chased down a woman. Les Trent explains.
The magistrate was presiding over a trial when he heard a commotion coming from the hallway. It was the woman, and she was screaming at the top of her lungs because she had just been told that she was 30 minutes late to file court papers.
He took off after her, running through the hallways. When he finally caught up with her, he ordered her back to his courtroom. When she made a wrong turn, he steered her in the correct direction.
I've never seen a judge behave in this manner. It's as if he decided he's got to be the bailiff and the sheriff and the judge and the prosecutor all rolled into one to chase after somebody, drag them back into the courtroom.
Inside his courtroom, he sentenced her to 3 days in jail for disrespectful and disruptive behavior. She tried to escape, but court officers detained her and led her away. The magistrate was later forced to resign for being out of order in his own courtroom. In January of 2024, an out-of-control defendant who made a flying leap over the bench refused to appear in court. Stacey Galandi explains.
Officials tell Inside Edition that the defendant flat out refused to make the walk through the tunnel system that links the courthouse to the jail where he's being held. There's another hearing scheduled for next Tuesday.
I think everybody would agree he's definitely a threat. I mean, I've been doing this for over 4 decades. I've seen fights in the courtrooms. I've seen outbursts, but this was one of a kind.
The drama began when the suspect was being sentenced after pleading guilty to attempted battery. At first, he sounds reasonable as he asks for a break.
I feel like I should be sent to prison.
Then the judge notes his long criminal history.
Got a lot going on, sir.
I'm in a better place in my life.
The judge didn't buy his plea for probation.
But I think it's time that you get a taste of something else because I just can't with that history.
Then chaos erupted. He flew right over the bench. The judge went under the bench to protect herself. Minutes later, the judge reappeared. The suspect's mother said he was off his meds.
What he did, no shape, form, or fashion do I condone it. You know, I was just as heartbreaking and shocked as anyone else. But like he told me, he just snapped.
He later returned to court, and the same judge sentenced him to a minimum 19 months for attempted battery.